I'm Jonathan Wilson, in this week for Rebecca Shear. Welcome back to Metro Connection. This week's show is all about turning points, those crucial moments when we reach a crossroads or make a breakthrough, and something big, changes. In just a bit, we'll talk with two guys who turned job loss into an opportunity to free themselves from the 9-to-5 grind and pursue new careers. First, though, we'll hear from a man whose turning point came recently, after many years of struggles with paranoid schizophrenia. Megan Pauley brings us his story.
Stephen has been living with schizophrenia since he was in his teens. He's 36 now, and for years his story was one of delusions, misdiagnoses, hospitalizations, and brushes with the law.
There's been ups and downs. That's part of the context in which things happen, and then there's setbacks and mistakes.
Recently, Stephen, who asks that we use only his middle name to protect his privacy, says his story is taking a happier turn. 3 weeks ago, he moved into his own apartment in Silver Spring. It's the first time he's living independently in more than a decade.
It's tough with a mental health problem. It can be tough, but I've tried to reach out to him to help picking me up.
You got a nice indoor entrance here.
Yeah.
And you probably feel pretty safe here too, right?
Yeah.
Among those helping to pick him up is Sarah Wazodsky. She's a rehabilitation counselor for Cornerstone Montgomery, a nonprofit dedicated to improving the lives of those living with a mental illness. Sarah meets with Stephen once or twice a week to help him with routine chores such as paying utility bills. Stephen either takes the bus to Cornerstone, or sometimes Sarah comes to him.
I've just been helping him kind of make the transition from living with roommates and housemates to just living on his own.
At the moment, Stephen and I are hanging out in Stephen's new apartment, and he's showing me his extensive collection of books.
It was recommended by a rabbi, the Book of Our Heritage, and then I got Charles Darwin's The Origin of Species, a book on Turkey, some prayer books.
Stephen has achieved a level of success that he once thought impossible. He says reading and studying have helped him through some of the lowest points in his struggles with schizophrenia. He graduated with an Associate of Arts degree from Montgomery College in 2012.
I love to learn. I love it. I just do it all the time. It keeps me going. It's my food, kind of.
But it hasn't always been an easy road for Stephen. He says one of the hardest things for him to accept was that his delusions, including his belief that passing cars were shocking him with electricity, weren't real.
Yeah, my disease can really be debilitating.
After a brush with the law several years ago, Stephen spent well over a year in a state mental hospital. Then he entered Adrian House, an inpatient 24-hour residential care unit that's part of Cornerstone Montgomery.
I had some real bad problems come up, and it was like a probation period of 5 years where I had to take my medications, see my doctors. I couldn't even mess up once, I don't think. Maybe once, not much more than that.
Nicole Grainer has worked for Cornerstone Montgomery for more than a decade and has gotten to watch Stephen grow on his journey to recovery. She's sitting in her office chatting with him, something they do from time to time when he comes to Cornerstone for appointments.
I know.
It's awesome.
It's been a long time.
It has. I was telling Megan how you and I had this conversation now 13 years ago when we first met, that your goal was to be where you are right now.
Yeah.
And you did it.
Nicole says she's also proud to see Stephen taking on the role of mental health advocate. He recently shared his story in testimony at a Montgomery County Council meeting.
I can't begin to tell you the impact that working toward the goal of having my own apartment has had on my mental health and well-being. I've not been hospitalized since 2009, and I've been working for just over a year.
Stephen says he'll keep sharing his story as well as working to fight the stigma surrounding mental illness. He doesn't want his mental disorder to define him, and he continues to set goals for the future.
I want to be grounded in reality.
It sounds like you are.
Thanks, yeah. Well, good doctors, and my next big goal is to try to find some kind of exercise 3 to 4 times a week.
Stephen's ambitions extend far beyond exercising. His long-term plans include obtaining his Bachelor of Arts in Philosophy and someday starting a family. He's also even working on his own autobiography. This is Megan Polly.